Welcome, students. Today I am here with the very first chapter, A Letter to God, that had been written by a Mexican writer, G.L. Fintes. So, today we are going to learn a first chapter, that is A Letter to God, and that had been written by a Mexican writer, G.L. Fintes. So, let's start. The main character of the story is Lencho. Lencho was a simple hearted, hard-working farmer. He lived in a lonely house situated on a crest of a low hill. Here, crest means a top. The meaning of crest is a top. So, Lencho was lived on the top of a low hill. From where he lived, and from that place he could see his field of ripe corn and river flowing. River, river flowing. So it was the only house in the entire valley. So in the entire valley, the Lencho's house is only one house. He was one who cultivated corn in his field. So normally we cultivated a rice, a wheat, a barley, a ragi, different types of crops. Same like way, the Lencho sowed a corn in his field, but he know that his field needed was a downfall. So he very well know that his only one thing was needed in his field, that was a downfall. Downfall means a rain. Downfall means a rain. Once again, I'm repeating that the Lencho was a farmer by a profession. He lived in a lonely house situated on the crest of a low hill. Crest of means top. So his house was on the top of a low hill. From this place where the Lencho was lived, from that particular place, he could see his field, entire field of ripe corn and river flowing. So he cultivated corn because he was a farmer. So he cultivated corn in his field. So, but he know that the only thing his cornfield needed was a downfall. A downfall means a good rain. That's why the Lencho eagerly waited for the rain, because his cornfield was needed a good rain or shower of rain. That's why he eagerly waited for rain. So, you know, students, what happened one day? So, one day during his meal time, Lencho heard big drops of rain falling. So, he was eagerly waited for the rain. So, at the time of dinner, he told his wife that it would rain soon. So, one day it was happened that during his mealtime, Lencho heard big drops of rain falling. So next, a woman. Woman means Lencho's wife. We can also see a lady who was Lencho's wife, and she was busy preparing supper. Supper means meal. So we can also see a lady who was Lencho's wife, and she was busy in preparing supper. Supper means meal. After preparing the supper, she called the older boys working in the fields and the younger ones, those who are playing near the house, for dinner. Yes, Lencho prayed for rain because he knew that his cornfield was needed only one thing, that was a good downfall or good rain or at least shower of rain. So during his mealtime, he prayed. Before he prayed that his cornfield was needed a good downfall. So Lencho prayed for rain. So also maybe his prayer was about to be fulfilled, and all of a sudden a huge mountain of clouds approaching, and it was from the northeast direction that the clouds appear. So he was happy and he came outside to enjoy the rain. When the rain came, that time the air was fresh and sweet. Lencho prayed for the rain, and his prayer may be come true. That's why a suddenly huge of mountain of clouds approached from the northeast directions. When the rain came, that time air was fresh and sweet. So Lencho was very happy and he came outside to enjoy the rain. So he came outside to feel the pleasure of rain on his body. When the rain falling from the sky, he considered the raindrops as a new coins. When the rain falling from the sky, he considered the raindrops as a new coins. So Lencho was so much excited that out of happiness he considered raindrops as a new coins. The big drop of rains was considered as a 10-cent pieces, and small drops of rain considered as a 5-cent pieces. When the rain was falling from the sky, he considered raindrops as a new coins. जेन्ना व्हडलो पावस पडटालो तेन्ना प्रत्येक पावसाच्यो थेंब तेणेन कितें म्हणून सांगले न्यू कॉइन्स. Why he called like that way? Why he called the raindrops were like a new coins? Because a rain give a good harvest. He can get a good harvest means he can also get a good money. So that's why he considered raindrops as a new coins. So which big drops of rain he called 10-cent pieces, and the small drops of rain called or he considered as a 5-cent pieces. So what you happen next, he was satisfied. तो सॅटिस्फायड असलो कित्या खातीर वाय ही सॅटिस्फायड बिकॉज हीज फील्ड नीडेड अ गुड रेन एंड दॅट ही गेट तेज्या शेतीक बरो पावस जाय आसलेलो आनी तो पावस पडपाक स्टार्ट जाल्लेलो. सो नेक्स्ट ही वॉज व्हेरी मच सॅटिस्फायड आफ्टर द गुड रेन. ही वॉज सॅटिस्फायड तो सॅटिस्फायड असलेलो since his field was once again blooming, lively, and we can also say that it was covered in a curtain of rain. So, Lencho was satisfied. Lencho satisfied aslelo with the ripe corn, with its flowers. But only thing his cornfield was needed was a downfall, and that he get now. It was started. Rain was started. When rain was started, Lencho felt that new coins were falling from the sky onto his farm. So once again, his field was blooming, lively, and we can also say that it was covered in a curtain of rain. His field was draped. Here, draped means covered. His field was covered in a curtain of rain. The rain was covered all over the entire valley. But there was a mishappening. पाऊस पडलो, लेंचो खूप खुश असलो, पण थंय एक मिसहॅपनिंग घडपाक जाय नासलेली घटना घडली. ती कितें आसतली? What was the mishappening was happened in that particular time? But suddenly the rain turned into a large hailstorm. Here was something was mishappened, that was a strong wind began to blow. Along with the strong wind, along with the strong wind, there was a rain and hailstones began to fall. Along with the strong wind, there was a rain and hailstones began to fall. The hailstones were like silver coins, and these silver coins were turned as fortune pearls by the boys who were collecting them. Here, the poor farmer had expected the hailstorm to pass quickly, but no such thing happened. It took place an hour, and just imagine the hailstorm and rain taking place for an hour means everything was covered with white hailstones. So hailstones were look like a silver coins. Hailstones were look like a silver coins. And boys exposed them in the rain to collect the frozen pearls. So the Lento expected that the hailstorm to pass quickly, but it did not pass quickly. The hailstorm, the hailstorm had completely destroyed his crops, and the field looked white as if it was covered with a salt. So the hailstones covered everything. Everything means his field, his garden, the hillside, his house, and everywhere. Entire valley were look like a white due to the hail, as if covered with the salt. When the hail means snow was look like a white. That's why the writer G.L. Fintes covered when the hailstorm or hailstones covered the entire valley, means everything in the field, in the garden, hillside, house, everywhere it's covered, and that time it looks like a white salt. सो आफ्टर दॅट इफेक्ट ह्याच्यानंतर जेव्हा हेलस्टॉर्म झालं आणि त्याचे सगळे क्रॉप म्हणजे त्याचे पीक जे असा सगळे डिस्ट्रॉय काबार झाले उपरांत त्याचो इफेक्ट म्हणजे किती इफेक्ट हेलस्टॉर्माचो इफेक्ट किती झालो असतलो व्हॉट वॉज द इफेक्ट ऑफ द हेलस्टॉर्म व्हॉट इफेक्ट सो सो फर्स्ट इफेक्ट इज एव्हरीथिंग वर डिस्ट्रॉयड. Can you imagine rain, strong wind, and the hailstones falling for the one continuous hour? It had a devastating effect. What is the devastating effect? And you know what is his field, his corn? Everything were destroyed. So from this devastating effect, so his field, his corn, everything were destroyed, and his field was white as if covered with salt due to hailstone, and no leaf, no flowers on his field. He was really very depressed. No flowers, no leaf on the trees and plants. He was filled with sadness and sad. that he would all go hungry that year. So he thought that, and he said to his sons that a plague of locusts would have left more than these. So he was depressed because hailstone was destroyed everything. His cornfield was also destroyed. Not a leaf, not a flowers on the plants or a tree. So all over the entire valley looked like covered with a salt because of due to hailstone. So that time he was depressed and he thought and he said to his sons, do you know that a plague of locusts would have left more than this? That means a plague of locusts would have left more than this. म्हणजे a plague of locusts would have left more than this. म्हणजे meaning कितें अशें कित्याक म्हटलें तेणें नासतले. The meaning is that what locusts are tiny insects. Locusts means tiny insects. They often destroy crops. They destroy the crops. So Lencho says that if these locusts means if these tiny insects, these locusts means these tiny insects. So plague of locusts means a tiny insect. They often destroy crops. They often destroy crops. But here the Lencho says that a plague of locusts would have left more than this. Means the locusts, if these locusts or tiny insects would have eaten by crops, that at least they should have left something. But here they would left something. But here the hailstones had left nothing. What should be eat the whole year? He was really very sad. He was really very depressed since they had nothing to eat that year. He was very sad, and out of sadness, he would say about anything. But he gave a real of hope to his wife and his sons. He just say to them that it's okay. सो इतलो डिप्रेस असलो सॅड असलो जाल्यार सुद्दां तेणेन ह्या हातूंतल्यान सिच्युएशनांतल्यान काही न हे करता तेणेन आपल्या भुरग्यांक आपल्या बायलेक फक्त कितें सांगलें भिवपाची कांय गरज ना सगळें ओके आसा आमकां कोण मदत आमकां एक मदत मेळूं शकता ही तेणेन एक आश्वासना जी आसा ती कोणाक दाखयली आपल्या बायलेक आनी भुरग्यांक दाखयली बिकॉज why he gave that assurance to his wife and his sons because he would obviously get help from God. He is know that God will help him. He is the only savior who would obviously help us in terms of means. He know that God will help him because he was lived in a lonely house. It was a lonely house in that entire valley. There is no hope that someone has helped him. थंय कितेंय तेका हे नासलेले की बाबा आनी कोणी तरी येवन हेल्प करतलो बिकॉज इन दॅट एंटायर व्हॅली इट वॉज द ओनली हाऊस अँड दॅट वॉज सिच्युएटेड ऑन अ टॉप ऑफ अ लो hill. So he also just said that no one dies of hunger and had complete trust in God. So he had a complete trust, he had a complete faith, he had a deep faith on God. So he was filled with sadness and said that they would all go hungry that year. But Lencho was deeply troubled, and all through the night he thought, all the night when which night the his hailstones had destroyed his entire cornfield. That night he thought of his single and last hope. सो सिंगल होप आनी तो बी लास्ट आनी तेज्या भायर आनी कोणीय तेका मदत करूं शकचे ना दॅट्स वाय ही थॉट throughout the night that a single and a last hope the help of God. So he can get a help from God, and sure the God will help him. Surely तो कन्फर्म असलं की देव जो असा तेका कितें करतलो ह्या परिस्थितीत मदत करतलो. And he believed that the eyes of God see everything and he could not let them die of hunger. देव सगळे जे आसा ते पळयतर आसता आनी आमकां कोणाकूय भुकेन मरपाक दिवचो ना. So he believed that the eyes of God see everything and he could not let them die of hunger. So what he did, so a whole the night he thought and he decided to get a help from God. So what he did next, like what happens next and what does he do next, that we learn in the next part. So in the first part we had learned that the main character of the story and where he was lived and what he was by a profession and what which corn he has cultivated in his field and what the field is was needed, that is a good downpour or a rain. When the rain started, the lencho was very happy. After the rain, a strong wind and a strong hailstones began to fall, and that hailstorm and hailstone destroyed his entire cornfield. After that, what was happened already you know that. So after the destroyed his cornfield and after thinking of that to get a help from the God, what he did next, that we learn in the next part. Thank you, students. If you have any queries, then just write in a comment box, or you can put a message on my personal WhatsApp number. Thank you.